Hi there, it's Mark from Third Shot Sports. Today I want to talk about a really important shot in pickleball, and that is the overhead smash. Very often when you come up to the net, people will get sort of nervous that you're up there, and they'll think it's a good idea to play a lob. Now, that can be a really good idea for your opponents, unless you become better at putting away balls. One of the reasons why you don't see the best players in the world engage in a lot of lobbing is because they know that the people on the other side of the net can put away those smashes, right? So they keep the ball low, they play dinks. They don't do that because that's the right way to play pickleball. They do that because good players put away smashes. And if you're not able to put away smashes, then you become vulnerable to the lob. So we're going to take a look today at some of the things that you need to do in order to put away smashes. So let's start. So there are several key components to smashing the ball well. The first has to do with moving, right? If you're not in position, if you're reaching for the ball, if you're off balance, it's going to be really hard to hit the ball well. So for now, I'm going to assume that you are in position. Either it's a poor lob and you're there and you're set up and you're balanced, or it's a good lob and you've been fast enough to get back and be set. Okay, so I'm making an assumption here that you are going to be set. Of course, that's not always the case, but for our purposes today it is. Okay, so you're set, you're balanced, you're underneath the ball. Now, there's a few things that are important. We want to be able to hit the ball with power, right? That's the point of hitting an overhead. That's the advantage of being able to hit down on the ball because you can hit it fast and it still stays in the court. So how are you going to get that power? Well, first of all, you can't rely just on your forearm, okay? This is a relatively small part of your body, and if you're using just your arm to hit, it's going to be a really weak shot. Okay, a good overhead is very much like a good throw. And you can imagine good throwers, baseball players, or anyone who can throw a ball well, they don't throw their ball facing forward and just using this part of their arm, right? They get sideways. They get sideways because they can then rotate, right? They can turn, they can use their whole body, their hips, their core, their shoulders, and this part of their arm all together in order to get power. So our first tip today, if you want to hit an overhead with power, is you have to get sideways. Okay? You have to get sideways because from this sideways position, you can then turn your whole body to hit. So it looks something like this. Okay, so again, you get sideways, and then you turn your body sideways and turn your body. Okay, so it's not a bumping feeling, it's a sideways feeling where you then turn to hit. Okay, so that's the first thing that's important, is when you see that lob come up, you immediately get sideways. There's a second thing that's really important, and that is what you do with your hand and with your paddle. Okay, if I'm holding my paddle sort of like a frying pan, right, this is not a very useful way because I can only sort of push the ball forward. Even if I've turned my body, okay, I have to kind of push at the ball. One of the reasons that the best players use a continental grip, sometimes known as a hammer grip, is because when they hit, right, the edge of the paddle is what's leading, okay? So if I'm using the frying pan grip, it comes forward like this, but when I use a continental grip, the edge is what's leading. And that's really important because obviously I don't want to hit the ball with the edge of my paddle. So what needs to happen is I need to turn my hand. And that rotation, that turning feeling is called pronating, okay? And you can get so much power just from that pronation, that turning action, okay? One way to think about it is you can imagine you're looking at your cell phone and then you're showing your friend, right? It's that turning action. So again, as that ball comes, I want to make sure I've got a continental grip so that I can turn to hit. I can pronate. I can pronate. I can pronate. There's a lot of power in that pronation. Okay? So it's those two things in combination, using your body well and pronating at impact, that are going to help. Of course, making contact as high as you can reach. That's a much stronger position than hitting here in front of your face. Okay? So now that we've talked about it, let's see what it looks like in action. So there you have it. If you use your body well to hit overheads, and if you use a continental grip and pronate when you hit that overhead, really reaching up high for it, you've got a chance to hit with power. Again, remember the assumption we made that you're balanced. If you're off balance, both those things become very difficult to do. So it's really important we can get underneath the ball, you can be set in order to turn your body and to pronate. I'd love to hear what you think about this. You can comment below, you can send an email to mark@thirdshotsports.com. You can check out the rest of our YouTube channel. Thanks as always to Singleton Paddles. They make really great equipment, and we're so glad that they're a partner with us. And see you next time.